G'day and welcome back to another One Punch Man the Strongest video. In today's video I'll be reviewing Gamma's account, which you guys are definitely going to ask me about why I'm reviewing his account when he regularly shows updates on his account every week. Well, because of this opportunity I've created a much needed Ascension card calculator that will be able to calculate how many Ascension cards you have in total on your account. Using this new spreadsheet I created, I managed to calculate Gamma having a total of 912 Ascension cards on his account as of the time of this recording, which is double the amount I have on mine, god damn it. So the spreadsheet that I made should have a public template accessible to all of you by the time this video comes out. So click on the Google Sheets link in the description down below, which should be under the template heading, so that you can also calculate the amount of Ascension cards you have on your account, so that you can keep track on all of your Ascension cards, as well as to follow along my Ascension card guide on who and how many characters you should be prioritizing your cards for. And before I begin, make sure you also check out Gamma's channel if you haven't already, since he uploads hardstyle montages as well as live streams, so please check him out as well. So with all of that being said, let's briefly review everything on Gamma's account. So right before I do review his characters, I just wanted to go over why I pulled for ATT, as you saw that I did summon her as of yesterday when I recorded this video. The reason why I am going to address this is because I've seen many comments everywhere on YouTube where people who have been emphasizing to not pull for her due to the fast pace of the game, such as myself, have now pulled for her and are skeptical about what we know about the future of the game. So I'll go over the reasonings why I pulled for her. Firstly, I have been informed about the glimpse of the future of this game. However, I do not know the extent of how much they'll be doing for the anniversary, so I still don't know whether or not Bomb will be in a banner or not, but I do strongly believe that he won't be. Secondly, the reason why I told everyone not to pull for her now is because we are still uncertain how big the anniversary will be. You can go for her during her rerun in September, but other units such as Sonic V2 and Gale Wind will be pushed much earlier than expected. So personally, you'll have to choose between ATT or one of those two units that have a much higher longevity in this game compared to ATT. So because of this, many players will have to choose between ATT or either Sonic or Gale's keepsake as well, which I would advise to pick between Sonic or Gale, since ATT won't have a long metaspan without her keepsake, whereas Sonic and Gale will, even without their keepsakes. So it's a really hard choice, but you have to choose between ATT or one of the two new future LSSRs. And thirdly, the reason why I was willing to pull for ATT was because I was going to make up for the 70 tickets that I would have missed if I didn't pull for her in 110 tickets, which I would have needed to pay $100 for. The reason why I pulled for her is because she'll be my main AoE unit until SSR plus Geru, if you can even count him for that, as other AoE SSR plus units such as Child Emperor is not on my pull list, and I am a content creator, so I'd like to get ATT for content reasons alone. With the unexpected rush of the devs moving everything forward, my honest advice would be to either pull between ATT or Gale Wind, since Gale's stuns can counter ATT in a way. But you can also go for Sonic V2 if you want to as well, but I personally prefer Gale. So on top of that note, I do want to emphasize this, okay? Please start playing this game for fun and to not take it too seriously. Pull for your favorite characters if you want, especially during the SSR Plus era, since they're all great characters. But for most free-to-play players, they won't be able to get even half of them. So I'll provide my best advice on who they should prioritize their tickets for, if they plan to play this game in the long run and solely focus on the meta. I'm sorry for this long rant, but I just needed to make it apparent to at least have fun in this game. This is a pretty good game. I surprisingly am having a lot of fun for a mobile game, since the last time I had this much fun was playing Clash of Clans, as I got as high to as Town Hall 13. Which I was playing for years, since I did have a lot of fun in that game and I barely spent money on that game. So now I'll stop nagging about all of this rant and I'll peacefully review Gamma's characters now. Okay, so if you all know, he does post content on his YouTube and his main focus is RMG, which you can see from these stats here. He has absolutely obliterated RMG with 1 million attack, and she also nearly has 3 million HP, and her crit is 64. which if you also didn't see in his recent video, I don't know if it was Boros or RMG's Esper buff gear, that he is an absolute buffoon, and oh no, it was Boros's. But he got rid of a second crit, which he could have saved, but he's an idiot, lol. But he does have 3 crits on her, but I guess in his gears, if you can see here, yeah, it makes sense that he has all 4 as attack percentage instead of 1 crit and then 3 attack percentage. Because like, realistically, you don't really need as high crit for her. Like, having the 60 to 70 range is perfectly fine. You don't need her to have like 80 or 90. For other units such as like SSR Genos, you would definitely want to have a higher crit, only because that he attacks all 6 units, where the RMG only attacks 1. So realistically, you don't need that much high crit, but personally, I'm trying to aim for at least 60% on RMG. I think I have 51. I just need another crit stat here. I'm not going to go for 3 because it's too expensive for me. But if I get a second crit stat, then I'm going to stop working on her Esper buff gears and her crit in general. But anyways, to go over other stuff, his buff gears, for example, he has attack bonus, 2 of them, which is actually really neat. Gear, he doesn't have a 3rd attack bonus. He does have reduction, which is really annoying. It could have been replaced with an attack. He has 4 attack stats in general, but I mean, it's a really good gear. This one, if you don't know, you can buy these, but like $100, it's stupid. Alright, don't spend your money on this game like that. But he got bonus damage on 3 of them, goddamn. And then he had this 3 crit piece, which is absolutely insane. Actually, let me also see his thing. So he also has 6 badges on RMG's health, which, like, it's overkill. But as you can see on the spreadsheet that I created, he's fucking spent like 60% of all of his Ascension cards onto RMG. And he has 550 on her. So honestly, he can do whatever the one he wants with her. But I guess it's for survivability, maybe for PvP aspects, he has it this high for her. To go over other things, such as her skills, she has state 21, so now she's starting to reach the red tier of things. That's because Gamma is focusing on her as her main unit. And then Limit Break, he got her to 5 stars straight away, which was able to unlock her 5P, which is absolutely amazing. He does plan to make a nuclear RMG video, so check that out really soon. I don't know when he'll release that, but it should be coming in the near future, which will absolutely show off how OP and sickening it is to go up against when she goes up against Club Boss Boros. And then everything else, he does have all 6 sigils unlocked. He has 3 level 6 attack sigils, goddamn, or sword sigils. I just have 1 and I'm suffering. I don't even have another level 5 sword sigil, it's freaking annoying. But he does have 1 piercing as well, which is good. And these are, well, this one's kind of getting nearly maxed out. You don't really need to max out any of these, like talent things. They're pretty useless, all the red ones, except this one. If you're going against Club Boss Boros, this one's actually really good. I did that myself as well, so this was probably a handy one. But other than that, that's RMG for you. Her BP is 5.3 million, which is really high as well for an RMG, or just for a main character overall. But yeah, she is really stacked. I don't really have anything to say about her because she's absolutely a unit, and I cannot say shit since I will never reach as high as him. But I will go over the other units now. So another unit that he also focuses on for Club Boss Boros, because he does like to focus on Club Boss Boros in particular and PvE side of things, is, yes, Boros. He has 600k attack on him, and his HP is 2 million, which is really good, even though he doesn't really focus on HP. His crit is also 52, which is not too bad. So for his other things, such as his skills, so overall in his talent center, or training center, he's gotten everyone to 96 as an average, so that's actually really good. He does have 6 stars on Boros, which I didn't really realize that he had that till now. I guess I haven't really been paying attention, but fuck me, you don't really need this, alright? I mean, damage rate is okay, but like, for free-to-play people, just don't ever fucking focus on 6 stars, alright? It's really useless. Just focus on getting 5-star characters. Get more 5-star characters than even one little 6-star. I don't know why you did this, bro. Anyways, Awakening, got him up to 4. which I think he was up to 5, but then RMG came out and now it's not anymore because he does have access to his keepsake, which was like $100 after beating the Institute of Genetics. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. Don't buy that if you are not a spender at all. It's really freaking expensive. But yeah, these ones are also maxed as well. So these 2 pages are actually maxed, which is actually really surprising. And all the lesser, yeah, oh man, he's got so many high sword sigils. Far out. He can make another level 6 if he really wanted to. But yeah, he's unlocked all 6, so his main focus is focusing on these 2 characters, just because they do the most amount of damage on Club Boss Boros. But my advice, if you don't have as much money as Gamma, which most of you won't, just focus on one character in particular, like one single burst damage unit. Even when Sonic V2 comes out, you can focus on him purely if you want instead of RMG, it's really up to you. But he does have the money and the Ascension cards and resources to put into 2 characters, so I'll just leave him to it. You don't have to follow through with his playstyle. And I'll just brush through this real quickly. He's got his keepsake, expensive, goddamn, and then his badges 3 stars, doesn't really need that much health. He does have, ooh, he has well, this is a good primal. These ones are eh. But he does have a good primal set. At least they're all orange, at least. Because that will be better than a purple attack and then attack bonus. But that's what he has for his set on Boros at the moment. Everything here is on 3 stars. This one he's trying to get a 3rd crit, I'm pretty sure, but he absolutely failed in the video he just uploaded recently, because he is not the smartest in the head. Other than that, the damage rate, he's got 2, that's actually really good. And yeah, I don't know if he wants to work on this gear anymore, because there are now other characters to spend your buff gear materials on, such as ATT for example, which him and I are going to have to start putting our resources into, because we pulled for her last minute, which is stupid, and I am stupid, but I just don't question my logic, alright? I already explained why I pulled for her. If that's not convincing enough, then I don't know what is. Just let me pull for who I want to, alright? I'm having fun in this game. So next up we have his main tank, who is Watchdog Man, who's also 5p, and his health has 4 million, which is really high, especially for someone who only has 67 Star Ascension cards into, which is insane, because I think mine has 75, and I think it's maybe just cusping on 3 million. But that is really good. To go over his skills really quick, all of this state 19, so he's reaching on 100, he can train for more. He has 5-star the Doggo, which is good. He's probably one of the better units to 5-star. Unfortunately, I won't be able to now since I have ATT to also work on, but I think I plan on 4-starring ATT. I'm not too sure, but I'll focus on that in that regard. So he has 5p'd Watchdog Man, which is really good, and he's really powerful, especially with the Gira core, so his longevity right now, he's really popping off during this meta. And as of these talents, he's basically got every sigil except one. All health sigils, look at that, goddamn. He's got so many high level sigils, it's insane. It's not funny because I'm actually crying inside. I want all these sigils. And then his keepsake, he does pull for a lot of people's keepsakes, so he does have Watchdog Man's keepsake. And I'm surprised that he has his badge at 4 and not 5 or 6, especially unlike RMG, where RMG doesn't really need the 6. But I will leave him to that because I guess RMG can be as powerful as she can be. And then with all these gears, I guess the speed is there for his speed order, I guess for PvP and stuff. And then he doesn't really have any Star Ascension cards except this one onto his HP. Then all these gears aren't really touched. He's got, oh god, what a... Well, the attack bonus is good, but the defense like reduction is dog shit, which is unfortunate. But the attack bonus he could use for someone else, maybe like ATT for example. Next up we have ATT, where, oh wow, her attack is already at 600k for such a short time. Other than that, not really much to go over. Her HP, she does have some pretty good survivability, but she's on 2 million as well, which is actually really good. Her skills, her state is at 20, so Gamma has made her as a leader, so he reverted, I guess it was maybe either Boros and then put all of his materials into her, so now she's leading as one of the espers to put all your skills into, which I guess is really up to you. You just at least need 2 espers that you're going to be focusing on. And then he's got her to 4 stars. He already has a decent amount of shards. I wonder if he's trying to work on her next. Her awakening is on 3p, which is good for the most part. There is a lot of people to focus on. I don't know what his plan is with ATT, because I'm pretty sure he's been saying that he won't be pulling for her keepsake. But I wouldn't be surprised if he turns that around and then pulls for her keepsake in the very end. I'm 100% not pulling for her keepsake, because that is way too much money. And I just can't. I want to get Gale wins. So I'm definitely not lying in that regard. I can't pull for her keepsake. I can in her rerun, but I'm going to go for Gale win instead. And then her sigils. Oh wow, she's already been unlocked to page 2. He can unlock the page 3. I won't touch that. But yeah, the pain sigils, I did get a comment that you can go for attack or pain sigils. It doesn't really, oh well, it does matter. The attack ones will be slightly better just because in her kit, right here, that a lot of her dot comes from her attack itself and not from the sigils and shit like that. Because like with the pain sigil, it only does bonus damage on the very first tick of the dot, which I guess is pretty neat, but like overall, especially over like after every character has moved, so like it ticks 6 times in 1 round, for example, like she'll do more damage if she has sword sigils than pain sigils. But pain sigils is a great alternative if you don't have sword sigils, since other characters like RMG will need to have sword sigils, and that should be a priority with the sword sigils. But you can put all your paint sigils onto what you call a ATT if you want. It's really up to you. And then going through her exclusive items real quick. So her keepsake is on 2 and her exclusive badge is on 3. And for her gear, she just has a broken attack bonus set, which is good. This is the plan for ATT. You just want her to have as much attack as possible. And for her buff gears, he has prioritized her as he's next priority in terms of buff gears. Okay, so he has 3 attack bonuses on his ATT, which is really good. That will buff the shit out of her. And this Esper gear is but realistically, there's not really, her Esper gear isn't really as important. You probably just want hit or maybe resistance if you really want to. And then he hasn't really been working on this one, but he just has the Ascension cards to buff her attack to 20% overall. And I'll brush over Girigiri very quick since we are in his meta, so if you're just curious, this is the average from the training center as a member. I don't know if he does plan to 5-star Girigiri, because a lot of the high spenders in this game do have Girigiri to 5 stars, only because they do use his ult and then his max HP reduction does get buffed up a bit. I'm not too sure if Gamma would want to work on this. It's really up to... Oh, actually, wait, I just realized he does have shards. So I think he is, but he has to save his Esper badges for other people. He has not opened this, so I'll just give him a free little BP. But this isn't really worth awakening at all, just don't touch it. And for his talents, he's got Berserk. That's all you need on him, just the Frenzy Sigils, because his Berserk buffs from his core is the only reason why he's in your team. Other than that, he's not a good attacking unit. So that's all it is for Girigiri meta. And then there's nothing invested at all into his exclusive items, which is fair because he can really die as soon as possible. It's really fine. He has put him as a tanky build in order to survive as long as possible. So he's not focusing on using his ult at all. He'll probably use his follow-up most of the time, his basic attack, so that RMG could probably attack. And then for his buff gears, they've all been untouched and are not important. And lastly, for his main lineup, I'll go over a Mai real quick. So currently, his attack is at 200k and his HP is at 2 million. And his speed is at 600, which is not too bad. But I don't think he focuses that much onto Amai. I think he's trying to. Or maybe not, because he's not really focused into PvP as heavily. I have more speed than him by like 200. That's because I have a really good hero buff gear. But yeah, I don't know if he wants to work on Amai just to speed him up a bit. but I'll quickly go over everything. So he is a member for the training center, so his average skill levels will be at state 19. I think he does plan to get Amai to 4 stars. He's not really important to get his passive up to 5. Doesn't really mean much unless you really want to stick in the PvP meta for a while. His awakening is at 1 to boost up his HP. He doesn't really need much. If you really want to, you can get his other 2, maybe get him to 3p just to make him survive a bit longer in PvP lineups. He hasn't touched his talents at all. But regarding to his keepsake, he does have 1 star on Amai and has 4 stars onto his exclusive badge. So I'm guessing he's going for a HP build with Amai, which is good for his shields. But if you want to go for a healing build, then you can put attack on his gear set. Other than that, he also has a monk set on Amai, and he also has 2 stars on the speed gear because it's orange and it will boost it up a bit more. And I just want to see this hero buff gear, which isn't the greatest. He has 1 speed bonus, but he also has 1 defense and 1 attack bonus. He's got all 3. That's unfortunate. I don't know if he ever wants to touch on this. I don't know what his plans are with Amai, or if he's going to be competitive with Amai. But that is a gear. Locks are really hard to obtain in this game. I have suggested this to the devs. I'll hope that they have received it and they want to act on it, but who knows. Other than that, these gears have not been touched at all. So I don't really have much to say about his 6 main characters since they are pretty good in regards to everything. But I do want to brush over very quickly someone like frickin' Aloy. That's only because when I did my calculations with his Star Ascensions cards in my spreadsheet, he has wasted 3 on using a sigil onto Aloy, which you just revert it. You can use those 3 cards with something. Also for Garo, because he also has 2 in part of his gear, wherever his gear is at. Here it is. Get rid of that as well, you don't need that, bro. And then you have 7 on Goketsu, which is also on his keepsake, which I might maybe advise you to keep on that. The only reason why, because in Live Clash, that is very useful in Live Clash. His keepsake is annoying against non-Giro core lineups, so you maybe want to keep that. But other than that, he has put everyone's Ascension cards pretty efficiently. Except for Genos. I know he's not working on Genos entirely anymore. He still does have a little bit of Ascension cards onto him, but he might maybe keep them on here just for like PvP modes such as Dojo Clash and Club Wars, just for one of the AoE attackers of the 3 teams, so he can keep it like this for now. If you're curious to know what his setup was like before he was reverted, if this hasn't changed or not, this was one of them, and now his HP has drastically decreased. It's at 2.5 million, which, I mean, for a default, like, Genos, who does have HP gear, but, like, that's still really high. But for, like, the top PvP players, he's nothing. Also, really quickly, his next main character is going to be 5-star in Choranko. He's definitely going to make a nuclear Choranko, montage, so definitely look out for that. Trust me, he's definitely doing this in the future. Damn, and that's also unfortunate. He just got 9th in the club contest qualifiers. That's so unfortunate. To be fair, I think my club also would have just maybe scraped it. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'll figure out once I log back in. But I will redeem this for you now. And let me do a live opening on which buff gear you will get. Oh, okay, well, it's trash. I'm sorry, Gamma. But I also want to keep opening this. Oh, actually, no. I'll leave you to decide if you want that open or not. And I'll go over other features, which I'm not too certain if he goes over most of these things on his reviews. So, starters, on the leaderboard, he is part of server 36, so he is 4th currently in his BP rankings compared to everyone in his server. And for his stage rankings, he is also 4th. He doesn't have access to the elite stages yet until you reach 107 as your player level. So that's why he's 4th in this regard. As his strongest character, to no surprise, he is 1st. He probably has one of the strongest, if not the strongest, RMG currently in this game. I'm not too sure about God K, because I think he might have reverted maybe things for ATT now, but he did have a strong RMG to begin with. And for his club rankings, his club is currently first in this regard. So I guess I'll just go over everything from left to right. So for his training halls, which if you have been playing for as long as him for now, by now you definitely should have completed all these training halls. Make sure you do train one at a time. These skill and battle trainings are absolutely useless. Please don't spend your books. These books will be used for a later feature. I don't know how late Moontoon will decide to release it, but keep these books. They will be very, very useful. And in regards to his laboratory, he does have a pretty high level laboratory. He has a level 8 zombie man, which is really good. He's so close to 10. In regards to Giro, he's on 7, because during ATT's time here, the level 10 core will be brilliant, since Giro's core does boost dot damage by 80%. So especially if you have ATT, it's game over. But this is his layout, as who he has his top 6 units of cores for, where the other 3 here are just laying to rest. And in regards to his achievement, he's at achievement level 24, and I don't know if I'm beating him or not. I'm going to have to check that real quick, because I am on 24 as well, but I don't know how far into 24 I am. And for those curious, these are all of his figurines that he has. He does limit break a shit ton of characters, as you can see. Jesus Christ, look at all that. And he doesn't have Gorobus. I actually did not expect that. A lot of high spenders do have Gorobus, only because they get his shards a lot from the mystery store. Oh, he doesn't have Chose. Okay, that's interesting as well. I did not know that. I did know that he didn't pull for Fleshy Flash, since he has a high hatred for Fleshy Flash, because he is, well, he's not really a needed character. Like, he's not really good, unless you invest highly into him, which you really shouldn't. But yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't pull for Chose. Not bad. And just to pry into this supply depot really quick, he does have a lot of tickets for the Raid Up Ascension event, which should be happening this week, as when I release this video. It should be this week. If I'm not, I'm really sorry, but it has to be this week or next week. It has to be this month, so please be on the lookout for that, and please save all your tickets until then. So in regards to his club boss Boros stats, he does hit nearly 4 billion. If I'm doing this math correctly, it is 4 billion. Damage for 3 attempts, which is absolutely insane. But with these top 3 units, including Mongo, I'm pretty sure they all use the pretty much very similar lineups, because they do have King, which a lot of people might have not pulled for, since King was a pretty useless character at the beginning. But he is kind of viable now during Gira meta. That's only because he's an Esper slot, and he's Shatter, because Shatter does do a lot of damage towards Boros, and you don't have to waste energy on inflicting Shatter, so he is really good at the moment. But you shouldn't have pulled for King, because he's only really good at the first month you ever pull for him. But yeah, this is where he really focuses on. He always focuses on Club Boss Boros in particular. That's why his RMG and Boros are really stacked with Ascension cards, especially since RMG has 60% of all of his Ascension cards into her, and then 13% into Boros. So them two together make up nearly 3/4 of all of his Ascension cards, which is absolutely insane. And to quickly brush over his resist invasion, he normally does nearly 1 billion damage on Garver as well, which he has unlocked since he does have powerful ass characters. And in terms of all this stuff here, a lot of people in this server range has reached it, unlike mine. But yeah, I guess in this leaderboard you can see where all and who are all the heavy spenders in this game. In regards to his arena, he's currently ranked 7th, and if I quickly go over who is on the top of the leaderboard currently on his server, you have free-to-play Popo, who has nearly 20 million BP. God damn. He does have a lot of 5p characters such as Shockman and RMG. His Genos might be absolutely insane as well, who knows. But I will quickly go over one PvP gameplay, just so you can see how powerful his PvP team does go up against Key, who tried to attack him twice and failed to. So I will quickly brush through that really quick. And just like that, that's how his PvP lineup stands at the moment. As of Peak Arena, he's currently ranked 7th overall, with him being 9th in the hero standings and 7th in the villain standings. As you can see here, EBK is currently ranked 1st in this server lineup, followed by all these people. In regards to Live Clash, he doesn't really focus playing Live Clash, so this is why he isn't ranked as high as you would have thought for a high spender. But I am here to show off that I'm currently 11th. Since I already got the Live Clash border, I wasn't really planning on like tryharding this anymore. But since there is the free Live Clash character event out at the moment for like the next few days, I have been pushing a little bit, only because I get to have access with ATT. And I realized that I had a lot of fun with her, so that's also why I did pull for her last minute. Because after using her for like all 15 matches in one day, I got like 14 wins because of that. And I just couldn't resist, alright, so I'm very sorry. But I did pull for her in the end. But she's only really good in Live Clash at the moment. Everything else, because not really a lot of people have her heavily invested in, she doesn't really shine as an AoE attacker as of yet. Just wait until Bombs Core, and then for like my tier list video for example, then she'll definitely be buffed up into the S tier and will be in her prime. And for Dojo Clash, I'll quickly brush over that he is currently 12th overall. And I do want to point out, because his recent video, he is very stupid. So the reason why he kept losing a lot and got very frustrated is because the win condition is 2 out of 3. You don't really need to win all 3 of your matches, especially against the top PvP people. So I did see a comment, Mr. NSS from my server, hello there mate, I do recognize you, but he did also point this out as well. So Gamma, I know I've talked to you about this, but like, just focus, play this game mode properly, alright? You'll be ranked higher if you follow this win condition of having 2 out of 3 wins and not focusing your Gira lineup on their Gira lineup. Just focus your Gira lineup on their Zombie Man lineup, then focus your Zombie Man lineup on their 3rd core lineup. Trust me, you will be getting places because of this change. And to brush over his training center, this is currently his stage standings for all 4 types. His highest is Esper, since his most powerful characters are primarily Esper units, then followed by grapplers. Then in regards to his type training, everything is up to tier 9. I'm surprised that he can evolve to tier 10 with high tech. I'm not too sure why that can be upgraded first, but okay. I'm not going to upgrade it for him, since this does ruin your speed order, so don't upgrade these types straight away unless it's the type that you mainly focus on, such as like Grappler or Esper. So I'm going to leave this untouched because I am a good human being and I will not ruin his account. But with his central high tech as well, he has reached up to this buff, which does the single attack boost. I do know people like Cryon, for example, are way ahead. I don't know where he is at the moment right now, but like, Jesus Christ, and all these are like tier 13 or something. It's absolutely insane. And then in regards to his training center, he has 3 grapplers as his leaders, followed by 2 espers, 2 duelists, and 1 high tech. He can replace a grappler for a high tech if he really wanted to. There's not really any good high tech units. Maybe G4. I currently have G4. And I think Child Emperor. He only has 11 member slots. He doesn't have all 16. He can unlock these if he wants, but like, look at these gem prices. He keeps spending them a lot on like buff gears and that in particular, so I won't touch any of these gems. And we need to save our gems for the black tickets that come out every month. And then in regards to his skill training, he's currently on 96 for all of these. I actually find it surprising that his skill trap is 92. I guess that's the case now since he reverted an Esper for ATT to fill in the slot, so now the average cap must have been lowered, but he did upgrade to 96 when the cap was 96 at the time, so I guess that's why this is currently higher than the actual cap that it says over here. So this is not a bug, I'm pretty sure. And he does have one red quality skill, which is the basic attack, which is good. I know Cryon has all 3 of them red, but that's Cryon. He is in another league of his own, so I'll leave him to that. But this is really good progress for Gamma at the moment. And I will quickly brush over the Hero X villain, if for those curious. So he's currently at Cycle 8 Stage 13, which he is ahead of everyone in his server alone. I guess this is where a lot of people are caught up with, because in my server as well, people cannot, I guess, beat RMG, who is the current one for this. But I do know that Cryon and I think one other, I'm not too sure, have brushed into the Cycle 9 now, which is pretty insane, and it's a pretty big feat for this early in the game. So that's actually really impressive in that regard. And I will quickly claim these things for Gamma, since I'm pretty sure he probably scores really high in the leaderboard when it comes to War Disaster 2, which is very evident as he is capping Mongo and EBK by a solid like 500 million attack, which is insane. Jesus, man. That RMG, 5p RMG really hits in hard. It's gonna have to put like a fucking hard style, French core, all that type of shit into his montage coming. Just pump up as much trend, put fucking everything into it. Jesus Christ. Oh, cool. I think this is where they did the martial arts competition in the anime. Okay, that's actually really cool at stage 110. I also want to brush off these little things. So currently in his backup stick, he is level 288, which is goddamn insane. Goddamn, bro, you don't need to go as high. I guess he does use all of these bracelets, because I did see that he doesn't save them, and he's using them a lot. I guess this is his source on getting Giro shards. So a tip that I would advise for all the low spenders out there who do get this pass is to not spend your bracelets at all in buying any of these shards. Maybe a couple if you're like just missing out on them, but don't. You should be probably saving as many bracelets as you can, since in the future, especially with the SSR Plus era coming, you can get people's Evolution Awakening Stones, which will be very handy, because then you can always evolve someone at a later point in time, maybe even in a year's time, when you couldn't pull for them initially. So a lot of the evolution stones can be redeemed in this, and you can even awaken 2 certain characters if you really want to, which I do advise not many people do so. Awakening 2 is really only for those high spenders out there, but I will go into that in another video. And I also just wanted to show off that he does spy a lot of daily things in this game. I didn't change my conversion to USD. It's currently in AUD, which is my currency. I'll leave this as it is, so you can see how much more expensive shit is compared to Australia than in America, as our currency is absolutely awful. I think these packs are like 90 or 100 bucks in USD, not too sure, but like, please don't buy any of these packs if you are a really low spender, because like these are really not worth it, trust me. He also buys all these daily packs as well as these cycle rebates. He actually buys both of these. I actually never really figured out what these do, but I guess, well, not this one I always buy, but the premium one, I guess really it just gives you more XP. I guess that's how a lot of people have been leveling up really quick, since, as you can see here, the current world level is 110, which I didn't realize till later on yesterday, I think, which is actually really good for me, because I'm currently level 103, and the stamina conversion efficiency has now upped to 60% for me, which is really good, because now I get more double rewards, so I can evolve my characters to red 1 now, like Watchdog Man, so it's actually really helping me. So thank you, whoever is at level 110. You are an absolute maniac, but I appreciate it very much. And he had to pity ATT. That's unfortunate. Lamau. Serves you right, bucko. Also, what the fuck is this, bro? This game has been out for like 9 months now, and you still have not redeemed this, goddammit, this avatar. You just need to share one more SR character. Is that hard? Okay, so I guess if you get Genji, whenever you get Lightning Genji, just click the share button. It's legit, just 1 extra second of your time, and then you can quickly redeem this, because my OCD is absolutely killing me. I can't believe you haven't even finished something like this yet. And finally, I need to go over the Saitama features, which I nearly forgot about. So I guess for his talent trees, he currently is working on maxing out all of these attacks, since he has finished all of these niche stat boosts, which is good. This is very ideal. And for his memory cards, he's currently working on speed, if I remember. So all these cards here, he has to work on. These speed? Yeah, these are all speed. So he has gotten basically everyone's memory cards done. He just needs to work on speed for mostly everyone. Except this high-tech, I don't know if he's currently working on this, but yes, this is it. And that's all of my review on Gamma's account. I would like to give a shout out to Gamma for lending me access to his account for free, since I'm not getting paid for this and went over his account on my own free will. So please check him out in the description down below. He makes really good One Punch Man the Strongest content, as he is the protege of One Strike Dog, since he himself did pass down the torch onto Gamma in leading the content director towards this game. So check him out in the description down below, he really does deserve it. If you want to stay up to date with everything you need to know about One Punch Man the Strongest, then subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell in order to stay updated on every video I release, in order to make your One Punch Man account the strongest. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a comment down below if you have any questions about my video or possible future content. Until next time!